shit, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing out there? This is Intergalactic Interviews, and this is episode 173. What? Or is it 2? I think it's 172. Jesus.
Start off 74 minus 2.
Amazing start. I was just telling myself in my head, I'm like, you're good at this.
Are you a time traveler?
Good. Yeah. Just dumb. So dumb. Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? Are you having a good week or are you having a good time? I'm sure you're having some range of good or bad.
A week.
If it's bad, don't worry, it's gonna get good, and if it's good, enjoy it while it lasts, you little fucks.
Fair point.
Jesus, this
Fair
dark start to this podcast.
Loving it. Loving it.
It's all jokes, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, what I really want to do is bring our point of focal attention, if I may, focus in on our amazing guest today. Our guest today is the co-founder of Storied. How did I say? I fucked this up.
Stories Beach Productions.
Beach Productions.
You got it, man.
When you said it just before we went live, I actually I
fucked you.
I jumbled it.
I fucked you on that one.
Stories Beach Productions.
You got it.
That's right. I was gonna say beaches, like plural.
Like the old movie with Bette Midler.
What? Is that the origin of this?
No, not even.
But anyway, our guest is amazing. This is the loosest intro I have done in 172 episodes.
That's categorically untrue. That's not even up for debate. I don't know the ones that have been looser, but I know that this is not the loosest for sure. It might not even be top 5.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Steve Michell. How you doing, sir?
I'm just stoked to be here, pal. Thank you so much for having me.
I wanted to take a lot of pressure off you right off the jump. So I was
Sure.
like, what I'll do is I'll fumble through the intro.
Oh, because you think I'm going to fumble?
Well, then you can
Then you just re-added the pressure.
now you can't.
My heart is beating.
Now you can go through the whole episode being like, well, at least I didn't fuck it up like this guy.
Oh,
like
man.
Right off the bat.
172 times you fucked this
No
up.
professionalism. Steve, how are you doing, my friend?
I am doing amazing, pal. Like I said, man, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you. This is my Larry King Live.
Wow. Jeez.
It's kind of ominous.
I don't have that many suspenders. I gotta try my best, but he's like a legend, man.
Oh, yeah.
He's a fucking honest legend. Did you actually watch his stuff when he was on air?
Not all of it. Like, bits and pieces, especially to the big, like the current events and all that when he'd be everywhere. But is he still alive?
He's alive.
He is alive.
Allegedly.
I don't want to say well.
Yeah.
He's not alive and well.
He's
but
like a California raisin. He's just shriveled up to nothing.
He was like that in his 30s.
True.
Yeah, but yeah, no, he's a good man.
Yeah. He's done a lot.
Just kick him real hard and then he's okay. I wanted to ask you right off the bat. You mentioned like a Bette Midler movie. What are you talking about? Why, is your production company named after a Bette Midler movie?
No, it's not, man. My production company is actually named after the little part of Campbell River I was growing up, Stories Beach.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's a neighborhood just on the outskirts, and that's where pretty much my sister still lives there. My fucking cat lives there.
What's your cat's name?
Peanut. Well, it was Peanut, and then I got rid of his, so now he's just P.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Fair.
No, it's
That's fair, but to be clear though, Campbell River is on the island.
It is. It is
Vancouver
about
Island.
mid-Vancouver Island, just about an hour north of Nanaimo.
Okay.
3 hours north of Victoria.
I was trying to explain to someone the other day how big Vancouver Island really is, and they didn't get it. I was like, man, you could fit England and Japan, I'm pretty sure, in the mass of Vancouver Island. And they're like, no way, man. And I was like, dude, maps lie to you all the fucking time.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's true, right? Like,
Yeah.
so it is. Do you know this? Because you live there.
Yeah, it's. I don't know exactly like if England could fit on or not, but I know that it takes about 6 hours to drive north to south and about 3 to go east to west, and it's huge, and a lot of it's not even
It's the world's
occupied
43rd largest island.
43rd.
43rd?
Canada's 11th largest. Anyway.
It's not even Canada's top 10.
Well, I mean, the north, to be fair,
I know.
It's number one in my books.
Yeah, number one in our hearts.
I think
Yeah,
that the
exactly.
north has huge islands.
Yeah, it's no Rankin Inlet.
Yeah.
No.
It's no Baffin Island, I'll say.
Yeah, Baffin Island is the top.
Baffin Island, population 8,
Yeah.
because 7 people got lost. There's no way.
9,563.
Really?
Allegedly.
I hate that you had that fact right away. Like you had the stat.
Quick on the
It's
Google
a big
there.
island. No,
He
I
looked it
was
up.
already kind of close.
He looked it up right away.
It's a pretty nice island.
How long did
It
you live
is.
on the island for?
I was there for 33 years.
Okay, so 33 years.
33 years.
So you're like very much a product of that environment.
That is, yeah, I'm there.
That's why you're so personable.
Exactly.
That's why you're a good guy.
Island
to talk
lifestyle,
to. Yeah,
man.
you got
Lucky
island-
lager drinkers, the good guys.
The good guys.
Yeah.
You're just a nice fella.
I think I am. My parents would say the same, I hope.
I like that. I like the way this is going already.
Me too.
Do you have any particular moments when you were growing up on the island that led you to kind of sort of steer yourself into entertainment? Because producing in any kind of visual field is like a very, very difficult job, and here you are in a very small town. What prompted that?
Man, I think it was honestly just, I was probably started when I was about 13 in that. We were doing, I'd like to say skateboarding films, but unfortunately I was more or less a fruit booter. I wasn't really one of the skateboarders. I was a rollerblader.
I like this already.
Yeah, you were a fruit booter too?
Yeah.
Yes.
Not great, but I did
Is that
like
what you
it.
called it?
Well, that's what the skateboarders called it.
Oh man, I've never heard that phrase.
So I tried skateboarding, but I wasn't good. And, I would hang out with all the skateboarders, but they'd always give me the beats and pick on me. So
What was your what were you reasonable enough at that they wouldn't mind hanging out with you? Because if you're just
they still don't want to hang out with me.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
But I don't want to hang out with those fuckers either.
No, fair enough. Fair enough.
That's so good.
Fair enough.
But
Did you do tricks though?
I did, man. I competed at the P&E in 1996.
What?
Yeah, in the ASA Pro Amateur Tour. So they had the Pro Tour and they had the Amateur spot at the beginning.
Do you have a photo of you doing that?
I don't know if I'm not like on me, but I have a couple YouTube videos like I put together of us skateboarding at the home, but we're not showing that shit.
Why not? Let's show that right now.
We'll see.
Yeah,
Okay, so
So I was always rollerblading with my buddy Steve Monroe, and his family had one of those VHS cam, those heavy things that take like 4 people to lift and hold. So we'd always start playing around with that and just
the
filming
briefcase
ourselves.
ones,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
But it was using that and just having fun and really that was our days. We would go out, we'd rollerblade, we'd come home, we'd edit, and there was no editing machines or all this like digital photos that we have or digital video we have now. It was actually like put the tape in the VCR and then record, pause, and try to make videos of that.
Yeah, like hard in audio, it's like destructive editing,
Oh,
basically,
God,
right?
yes.
Because you might just accidentally record over a part you like. It's like, anyway, okay, yeah.
You'd find out, you'd be looking through the tapes and you'd find the late night showcase that you recorded the night before.
No.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
whatever else.
Oh, no, yeah.
Who can say?
Yeah, Larry King.
Larry King. So that was my first, just doing that, enjoying daytime. When you're just a kid, you're free. That's all we were doing this summer. We just film rollerblade videos and put them together. And that got me a little taste of what I liked. And then when I went to high school, I just changed schools due to being bullied from grade 8 and grade 9. No, I'm just kidding.
Really?
No, my parents moved.
Can't see you being bullied at all.
Oh, I was bullied, man. I was bullied in grade 8 and 9, but not in like the bullied way to where I took it home to offense. It was just like I was the nerd that got picked on, but everyone was my friends.
You were a nerd in school?
Oh God, for
I don't
grade
see
8,
that at all.
grade 8 and grade 9, I was just going through the puberty changes. All my friends were drinking, and I was, playing G.I. Joes. I was good at it too.
Good, yeah. You had a mind for it.
I did.
Imagination played into what you're doing.
It was
now.
an art that I didn't know. I loved the creative worlds. I loved the visuals and all that kind of stuff. So I wasn't. I was a late bloomer. I'm born in December, so a lot of the kids were a year older than me in my grade.
But you're an outlier.
Yeah, maybe.
Just like that book. It says all the best minds in hockey are born in December or January.
I think everybody born in December is better.
It's just period.
Yeah.
That's just pretty rude, though.
Do you have a tough time having to split Christmas and your birthday?
My birthday's actually 1 week before, so I think there's a good grace period. I don't really know if what it's like, but
I wish I could show you the dollar total of the amount of the people who are just like, well, I'm not getting them 2 gifts.
Oh, that's usually that was my grandpa usually, but I'd get a good gift, man. Like I'd get like not just one transformer, I'd get the whole set. So
What?
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Damn.
I like
Living
it.
that Camel River
Yeah,
life.
that island life, son.
Uh-huh.
Damn. So you got like all the Decepticons.
No, not all of them. I wasn't allowed to play. Wasn't allowed to play with the bad guys.
Oh, what? For real? No. Oh,
I'm just kidding, man. Of course, I had all the Decepticons. I had all the Autobots too.
Steve, I'm trying to get to the heart of this issue. Okay?
I know. I'm sorry. I just having too much fun.
Yeah, as I sidetrack you, it's okay. Well, okay. So as you're going through this, yeah, you're getting bullied, but you're also enjoying making films.
So I was just joking about the bullying. What happened is my parents moved from Stories Beach into like central Campbell River, pretty much. So I decided to switch schools because one of my best friends, my longtime friend Aaron Stricker, went there. And it was kind of just, I was at that age and I wanted to change. I wasn't getting along with the people I really liked back at the old school. So I moved there, and a guy from my hockey team was Stephen Rowe, the guy with the video camera. So
sure, yeah.
But when I got to grade 10, there was a video production course. And that was the first I saw of that, where we actually, one of our classes was we were to shoot videos.
Yeah.
So that was my first A I ever got in school. I think I got 99% in that course.
Whoa.
And from then it was just, all I wanted to do was film. I wanted to make films.
First ever.
First ever.
Obviously a ringing endorsement.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard to walk that back and not realize that you're good at it. It's the only thing you got an A at.
Yeah, well, not the only thing. It was my first
to that
day.
point, yeah.
And then I got drama. I got to drama
point.
class. Yeah. So for the next 3 years, from 10, 11, 12, that's what I did. Every course, all my electives were film production. I even went back after graduating and took film production because they had a morning announcements class where we got to do like live performances, but I wasn't in it in my grade 12 years. So
really?
Yeah. I went back and took that one, and it really just opened it. And it really sucks because I decided like right after school, I'm like, I'm going to take some time off and going to move to Victoria and try to really, my plan was to actually go to Vancouver Film School right out of graduating high school.
Right.
But I decided to take a break and I moved to Victoria, which just led me on a path of the restaurant industry where the next like 10 years were.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
So in that path, as you leave, you've just racked up the electives in that. I was similar in that. I failed grade 10 a few times, and so I basically
Allegedly.
A few times.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Okay, Ricky.
No, I just failed grade 10 math. That was the only thing I fucked up. I failed grade 10 math like twice, and so I had to like summer school it. And whatever,
I did. It was grade 9 English. I had to summer school, and I failed grade 10 social studies.
I ended up actually graduating basically in January of my grad year, and so I had this whole free year. I only needed 1 credit even that semester, so I just filled it with music. I took, I would take grade 9, 10, and then 11 vocals.
Yeah.
and then like guitar all afternoon.
Awesome.
And take my one little math class in there somewhere. It was just silly. And I would just crush all these fucking, anyway. That was just, I relate to like stacking electives is what I mean.
Yeah.
Like I had a pretty clear idea of what I liked when I was in high school as well.
Yeah, same here.
So when you got to Victoria, what's the first step?
First step was I got to Victoria and I just found a job. I was working at Moxie's restaurant and started in the kitchen there. Really didn't know what to do. I looked at a couple of film schools and all that stuff, but it was a new experience. Like the first time out of my house, away from my parents. There's no rules now, right?
What year is this?
This is 1999.
Okay.
Early 2000, I'm thinking.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I moved in there, and all my friends started moving there, and I just got a sidetrack. Film school wasn't what I wanted anymore. It was, I'm free. I'm living this newfound party life.
Yeah.
Right. I'm working in restaurants. There's bartenders. You're meeting new people. It's just a whole new world. If I can quote Aladdin there. You know what I mean? Like you live in Campbell River. It is a great film.
He will only quote films with multiple awards or nominations.
Like when you grow up, like the same, like it was Kenora where you're from.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's a small town. When you moved out here, or when you leave from some place where you think it's the biggest place, and then you move into Victoria, which is the first city I ever lived in. Like we had 1 bar, I think, or maybe 2 bars in Campbell River, and then you get there, and there's this whole nightlife of like every doorway is a new place, and it starts this new chapter. So like I lost sight of what I was wanting to do through school, just to go and be human.
Yeah,
and grow.
Because you have to live life to actually understand that. It's hard to relate and associate with people in the industry you want to do it if you don't have any life experience. It's reality behind it.
Yeah, true.
The process though from big city, immersion and like checking out like working in the restaurant industry and whatnot. What was the what was the next like concrete step that you're like, okay, I'm going to school, or
well, there was
is that the next step?
There was a lot. Like, this is the big start of Jackass, right? Do you remember the Jackass like movement?
Of course.
So that was huge to me. Like, I've been a Jackass my whole life. I'm the youngest of three.
I didn't know we had that in common.
Yeah, I knew that the first time I saw you.
I'm a huge CKY fan.
Yeah.
So I'm all the way back from the original Land Speed.
Yeah.
When they had their shitty Land Speed deal, and
Dude,
I was on that.
Yeah.
I've been a major Bam Margera fan since I could basically remember being a fan of anything.
That makes two of us, man.
Yeah.
I had I had all the CKYs, the box set, and we just would replay those, and we'd go out, and my parents got me a wicked video camera. This is right in the time when right before, it's pretty shitty, it was right before like the digital start, so it's just those little small tapes.
It's like the Super 8, or no, the Max Digi 8 or whatever.
I can't really remember what it was, but I got one of those, so we would just go out and film daily. We'd drink and film. That's all we did in Victoria.
Rad,
we'd just go out like throwing yourself in the harbor or dressing up in cheetah suits, running around, like all that stupid stuff, the fun, trying to like, Steve-O was my idol, man.
Yeah,
and,
dude.
You know, he's the most crazy guy named Steve I knew, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be like him. I wanted just to make people laugh, and if someone was doing something stupid, well, I'm going to up that. So that was my 20s.
Dude, yeah.
That was my 20s, and living that, and then it was just came to the point where, you know, my 20s are done now, and I'm just not loving what I'm doing, and it's time for the change. And that's when I looked back and I thought about where I wanted to be, and Vancouver Film School popped into my head.
VFS.
Yeah, so it took about a couple of years after that, really, just to get everything together, and I finally got the courage, and I applied, and I was accepted right away, and made that transfer from Victoria to Vancouver, which changed my life and brought this opportunities to me, and yeah, it's still growing.
What campus did you attend then?
I attended the one on Water Street.
The one down in Gastown?
Yeah, Gastown, Water Street.
That's the new one, right?
I think it was, they took it over a couple of years ago.
Right.
Well, I was there in 2015, so.
When I had my second studio in Gastown, they were basically building it.
Okay.
They're building it out, because I remember walking by every day and being like, God damn, this is like 100,000 square feet, like this huge.
It is, yeah, it's fucking huge.
It's massive. But you went there, you enjoyed that. Did you ever talk to anyone who went to the old campus?
I've met a couple people that went there even like 10, 20 years ago, or maybe not 20 years ago, but I've met people throughout just in the industry going around and that everybody says, I'm trying to think actually what. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to.
I think it's haunted.
Yeah.
I think it is haunted. I'm pretty sure. C-Mart,
Haunted.
noted ghost enthusiast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Major.
No.
Every time the show ends, first question C-Mart asks the guest, "Do you have any ghost stories?"
What an absurd notion.
He always hits him with. He's like, "Hey, listen."
I mean, I am curious, but I wouldn't be that curious.
Is it seeing is believing to you?
He's never once ever prompted a guest with that question, but I can
Oh.
see it in his eyes. He always wants to ask it. Did you see the way he threw cold water on it, and then he's like, "I am intrigued."
I saw that.
Yeah, he does obviously want.
I like abandoned shit, but in terms of like, not like shit you would find on the road, abandoned.
Jesus Christ, C-Mart.
I didn't.
Is that
see
a ghost?
Yes.
That's a geist.
We got ourselves some poltergeist action, boys.
So back to the VFS. I've met some people who attended back in the day, but I don't really know anyone, or I don't have any good stories about it. So,
I shot a video in the old campus, I think.
which one where was the old campus? That
Well,
was
I was
up
just
on.
It was just a song I produced.
Are there not still a couple campuses, or is it only one?
See, I don't know.
No, there's.
I don't know.
They have like 10 different ones all
Well, I
over
thought
Vancouver.
there's a couple downtown at least.
There's one auxiliary
There's like
one.
the sound design campus. There's the
There's the game one.
game design
Yeah,
campus.
yeah.
You got, as well as the film production. Right behind it is the VFX, and now I think they have one for virtual reality as well.
Oh wow.
I
I didn't realize it was
campus
like,
and the writing campus. So
Yeah, I didn't realize it was satellite.
they fucking own Gastown.
Basically,
Yeah.
right? Jesus Christ.
They're the lords of Gastown.
It's a good school though.
You enjoyed your time there.
I did. I met a lot of good people there. And still, that's pretty much my whole team for Stories Beach is people from my
Right.
class. Yeah,
Is that where you met Jordy Joseph?
I did. Me and Jordy Joseph met there. We were both pretty much the outgoing, the loud ones. The how do I say this in the nicest
What kind
way?
of class did you have? Like, what was the dynamic of the other students that, like, you kind of shared with?
It was great. It was so like people from everywhere. We had Korea to Mexico, Iran, everywhere. So people all over the world just come
Nice.
together for one reason.
That's
It's just
cool,
all
man.
to
That's
learn
really
film
cool.
and really, you know, find out who we were. And that's what VFS, like the best thing about it was, like it was expensive as shit. I'm not going to say they gave me the best education, but they pointed me in the right direction.
Yeah.
But the people that I met there will be forever friends, and that's worth the fucking tuition alone.
That's exactly what I say about going to Pavi.
Yeah.
Pavi, it's not even a school anymore, that doesn't even exist. But I literally remember like day one when I started there, they said, just so you guys know, the education you're receiving here is kind of an anomaly, and you're like the first wave, like the first couple years that'll ever be educated like this in like a private school setting for music, because this doesn't really exist. There wasn't really curriculums like that developed. And when I was there, they told me this, and then like 15 years, 13 years later, 12, not even, I think it was like 11 years later, gone. They're just gone. But same thing, it was very expensive, and if could have just traded tuition for a list of contacts of people that I'd know forever and would always be up for a chat or something like that, down to help. Then I probably would have took that over the thing. But there was some good stuff I learned, but again, it's not the best education.
Did they make you do any courses that were like utter bullshit?
In my school?
Like, no, just in either school. I went to the Art Institute,
which
is like, this is just the game design version. This is just like a trifecta.
Right.
I would say like for
Dial
game
this
design,
up.
the game program at the time was definitely, for VFS, was definitely like a superior program, and it already had a good film program. But they also made us take, different class, but they made us take some weird shit that was
What's a weird class you took?
Team building?
Color theory.
Yeah.
Color theory.
And I get it.
I don't
get it.
What are you talking about? Color theory.
I appreciate that I know that color theory is a thing that exists, but I
never
don't
even
believe
heard
it
of
was
this.
a valuable thing for me to spend like 4 months or whatever it was to like look at every couple days.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is. I've never even heard of this.
We had film theory in a way. It was just
music theory.
It was a bullshit class, but it was also like there's a lot of info given out, like telling about structures of film and all that. But no one was like, "Oh fuck, yay, film theory today! I can't wait." You know, like
Did you have any weird courses like something almost unrelated to your
team
field?
building?
Team
building was fucking. It was the dumbest thing ever.
Isn't that kind
You
of
had a team building
We had
course?
a team building class.
That would make me fight people.
Oh god, and like the test. This was the stupidest thing. They had a final quiz, and you prepped us for this quiz. And when we get the quiz, the questions were so outrageous in all this world. Like every single person, we're looking at this fucking thing, and there's no answer. But the quest, it was what he wanted us to see how we reacted to it. See how we came together as a team to say, we don't like your fucking quiz. We don't want to do this. Like it was the stupidest thing, and it was like 2 months.
Anarchy class?
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, fuck you, team building.
That's weird. That's weird that you
Fair,
had that experience
fair.
with the team building thing. Because I had a test once in high school. A substitute teacher gave us a test. It was like this handout he handed everyone, and it was like 100 questions.
Yeah.
And he's like, if you
That's a
finish
big
this,
handout.
he's like, if
That's
you
a
finish
notebook.
this, you can go early. And we were like, what? Unheard of. Especially in Catholic school. I was
You
like,
actually stay late because it takes so long. Right?
Exactly. So I was like, okay. So we start going through it, and the questions are like this. They start off really simple, like, what's 2 plus 2? And you're like 4, and then like it goes down.
Allegedly.
It gets into like once you're in like the 10s, 20s, or whatever. It'll say things like, it's like clear your throat loud 3 times, and you'd be like, and then you start seeing other people in the class are reaching the same point, so everyone starts clearing their throat, whatever. By like question 50, it's like if you're the first person to reach this point, if you've reached this, and you're the very first person, yell out loud, I am the first person to reach this point, and I am the best. And then you get to this, and then someone does it after you. The whole class is just like boo, because like this guy's not paying attention.
Setting
right?
up.
And then you get to the final question, and it's like, okay, because like the very first thing was just like, please read all instructions carefully and complete the test. And so by the end of the very last 100, it says, it's like, okay, have you completed all the questions? Good. Well, now you can begin the test.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? And so you were supposed to just read the thing and put your name on it, and you could leave.
Oh shit.
So this guy just basically juiced the whole class.
That's hilarious.
Juiced us.
That's fun. I like to do
that
that. I'd
feels like
to
a
do that
learning.
kind of- yeah.
Yeah, he put us in the juicer.
Sign me up for that team building
He was
class.
like, he's like, and that's why you always read the instructions. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
I always did read ahead on tests, though.
That's great, though. I like that.
That was a weird situation.
I'm not a guy to read instructions.
No.
Oh,
I don't even read menus.
Oh, Jesus.
It drives Liz crazy. She'll like be waiting. She knows exactly what she wants, and then she'll be like, "What do you want?" And I'll be like, "Just give me like, I don't know, pasta or something." She's like, "They don't have pasta."
So fucking annoying.
Yeah.
I hate that. I used to go to lunch with this guy a bunch of times, and he would be like, "Oh, just give me the standard burger." I'm like, I know there's a burger on the menu. Why are you ordering the standard?
The worst is
they have one burger.
I got wings once with C-Mart, and it's like they have 100 different kinds of wings, right?
Yeah.
42,
And he's like
42 wings.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, what are you getting? I was like, I don't know, probably wings. Again, didn't look at the menu, and he's like, so she comes up, server comes up, she's like, what are you gonna get? I'm like, I don't know, like honey garlic. It's literally the number one, like it's the first out of like the, I don't know, 4,200 whatever. It was just silly. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'm not trying to enjoy it. I want to just eat it and get going. I have music to produce and fucking people that smack.
Such an unfortunate
Why are you gonna
approach.
smack people? That's good. Because people question me about my food. How about that? But yeah, I don't read menus.
Yeah. I can't say the same.
Jesus. Yeah, I was gonna say
I work
normal
in the fucking
people
restaurant industry as well.
Yeah.
appreciates a well done menu, I'm sure.
You're a pro though. That's different. That's
thank
sidetracked though.
Yeah.
Let me get back on track here. So you're a
I don't
VFS.
even remember what track we're on. Yes, VFS.
You're a VFS.
Yes.
Let's cue some
It
music.
was a very
here.
fun school. Mhm.
Let's cue Electric Light Orchestra, Evil Woman.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, you like this? Do you know what I'm talking about? Woman. Evil woman. Okay, so that's you. You're in college. Yes. Evil woman. And you're walking around, enjoying yourself, yeah.
Just happy?
All right.
Picking shit?
So school's winding up.
School's winding up.
Are you producing films while you're in there?
So that's the one thing. I didn't do producing in film school.
What did you do?
I did production design, cinematography. Those were what I specialize in. They really didn't sell producing in the first couple classes. They said it was paperwork. Little did I know that was the paperwork that controls everything. So I didn't go to film school. I knew nothing. Like I said, I was the kind of guy that it was me and my camera. That was me. I didn't really study films and know anything about the cinematography, anything about the direction, all that. I just was point and shoot. So when I got there, I wanted to do whatever I could with the camera. So I followed in cinematography as like a cam op, and then production design was what they said that's the fastest way to get a job. It's
Really?
because the set decorators. Like you just get right out there and you're on set and you're working. So that's what I spent my time in. And I didn't realize until after I graduated and when I got my first grant from TELUS for the Story Hive, when I did my show Tips, I produced that and I was realizing, I'm like, fuck, I took the wrong shit in school.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it benefited me because the stuff I took in school makes me a better producer because I can see through their eyes and I know what they're doing. So it kind of worked out, but I'm still missing a lot of the logistics of what to do. So I have to take these other courses as well, just to catch me up on the shit that I didn't take.
I can understand how you come to that realization. Just again, just comparatively, when I was in school, it was an audio engineering course, and they were like, "Who here wants to be a producer?" And everyone raised their hand except me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Everyone raised their hand, and I was
Idiot.
because I was total idiot. Yeah.
Or genius.
No, well, I was like, there may have been one other person in the room that didn't put up their hand or something, but the artist in me, I was like, I just wanted to be more familiar with how the process worked.
Yeah.
So at the time, I was like, no, I'm going to be performing and blah blah blah. So, but then the more I was there, I would produce my own stuff, and then people would say, "Hey, can you make me something like this?" And I'd go, "Okay," and I just kind of didn't stop doing that.
Oh, sweet.
So that's
just came natural. Then.
Yeah. So, man, I'm really blown away by how many common values we have. Seriously, that's really blown away. Okay. Moving forward on that.
Just two dope dudes.
Just a couple fellas.
Yep.
Moving forward from that, I want to know. So right out the bat, right out of the gate.
Right out the gate.
Right out the gate, you're like, okay. I know I want to be a producer now that I'm doing this stuff.
Well, right out the gate, I knew I wanted to make a show. In school, I said to myself, this is the sponge time, right? Go there and just learn. Don't try to do anything big. Don't try to take over. So I ended up being the class rep and all that. And I dipped my, toes into a little bit of everything. So I got to see it all, learn it all. And then right when I got out, Story Hive, which was a huge,
run by TELUS in the province of. Is it nationwide?
No, right now it's just Vancouver and Alberta. I think they might have expanded to Edmonton, Canada, BC and Alberta, and I think they might have expanded to Edmonton now.
Okay.
But it's mostly just BC and Alberta. And they give out fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, maybe close to fucking $1 million now.
It's pretty wild. But,
even over.
Yeah, I remember. I remember. So, not to advance things too quick, but while you were putting together what I imagine like storyboards and whatnot for tips, you were working with a young fella, friend of the show, Mizzy Miz. So Mizzy's like, he's like,
the homeboy.
He's like, okay, yo, dude, I'm working with these guys. They're awesome. They're super good guys. I think you should meet. And I was like, all right, cool. Sound good. Because, like, I don't know, this happens occasionally, right? Like, but I had no idea that, like, they were, like, the best guys he was trying to, like, talk to me about. So I was like, okay, cool. Let's meet up. And I knew right off the bat, like, when we first met, I think we met in studio, right? Blue Light Studio. And
the one up in, like, by, like, 40th or something?
It's, like, commercial,
yeah,
up that area in Vancouver. The session though was with Pay the Man, so Mizzy's single Pay the Man I produced, and day one I met you. I remember we were just chatting on the couch there, and I remember being like, this dude knows what the fuck he's doing. Like, right off the bat, man. I knew right away.
Ditto, bro.
No,
ditto.
I'm just some fucking guy. That session in particular wasn't my best work in my opinion, but
I agree actually with that.
Okay. C-Mart who wasn't there. I was like, I totally agree. That was your worst performance.
Not worst, but you know.
I beg to differ, and I was there.
Yeah, it was no intro to 172. I'll tell you, that was a fucking terrible performance right there. It's bad, but I remember meeting you and thinking like, just right off the bat though, you're very on point. You know what you're doing, professional as fuck, and very easy to work with, which is really nice.
Oh, you gotta be, man. No one wants to work with someone that's hard. Like, you don't want to work with dicks. You don't want to work with fucking lazy people. You want to work with somebody that inspires you and has the same work ethic.
Yeah,
and I see that in you and your drive and your passion. Same as the Mizzy, that kid, man. That guy,
solid 6. Oh. Out of 6.
Out of 6, yeah.
Oh, Mizzy? Fuck, that guy's a 10. What are you talking about, man? It's like straight 10. Boner time.
Out of 6.
No, but that guy, man, I love him to death, and he makes me want to be better at everything I do because his passion, his outlook, and everything. And he's so selfless. He's just there for everybody, man. His heart's so big.
Dude,
I love you, buddy.
Yeah,
love you, buddy.
Mizzy's you can't say enough good things about this guy.
True,
but I love this guy, man. Like our background, we've gone over it, I don't know how many fucking times on the show. Don't have to rehash that, but basically.
Oh, you rehash with me one more time, won't hurt.
Well, just broad strokes, really quick, is that like we grew up like basically not liking each other, and then we were like the only dudes in town that rapped, and then we used to like trade diss records, and then our friends actually got so into it that they would fucking fight and like yell at each other and shit and meet at parties and not like each other, and then I dated this girl who happened to be his best friend.
Oh, no way.
And then she sat us down and was like, you guys need to be friends. And then when that relationship ended, Mizzy and I just kept hanging out.
Awesome.
And then I moved out here.
Shitty about the relationship, but awesome.
Well, yeah. But like when I moved out here, I was out here for a couple of years, like 2 or 3 years. And then I ended up sneaking in. Basically, there's this house that had like a 5-bedroom and no one wanted to take the lease. All the people that were on the lease were done college or whatever and leaving. Oh, okay. So I came in like literally last semester for them, and I was like, I'll take it. They're like, really? It's a lot of responsibility. I was like, no problem. And I just filled the home with all the artists I was working with.
Oh, it's amazing.
I had Mizzy. I called him right away. I was like, Mizzy, I got a place. You need to come out here and blah blah blah. That was basically that started everything. Even G-Tone. That's how G-Tone moved out to Vancouver.
That was like what, 10 years ago?
2009, I think Mizzy moved out here. Oh, so crazy. So 9 years, almost 10 years ago. Yeah.
Wow. Where was that place located?
Rupert.
It's called the Rupert House.
It was called the Rupert House. Yeah. So notorious.
If I got into a cab and said, "Yo, take me to the Rupert House," would I have got there?
The guy would have probably made you get out.
Yeah.
Even like
take you there as hospital.
Yeah, you owe us money.
That sounds like a place I had in Victoria called the Dome.
The Dome. That already sounds notorious.
Yeah.
Oh, it was disgusting.
Dude,
yeah.
How many people did you live with at the Dome?
There was 3 bedrooms up, 2 down, but I think a couple of bedrooms were filled with a couple of people. So, but every Friday, Saturday, it was the go-to house. So it was packed. Like
Jesus.
From the weekend, there was not like an hour where there wasn't at least 3 people drinking or doing drugs or party. You know what I mean?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
We turned one of the rooms into just a jam room upstairs. Yeah. So like to walk through the house, you'd have to walk through the jam room upstairs.
Nice.
Yeah. And then we actually had so many keggers that it was common for us to call for a keg, then drop off the keg, and not pick up that week's keg until they drop off next week's.
Oh,
keg.
really?
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
That happened a few times where I was
You actually had a delivery service of kegs.
Basically, and I was
a
like,
weekly route.
I was like, boys, this is getting excessive, you know? Kind
The
of
Rupert House.
Yeah.
I found those kegs were unusually strong somehow.
Yeah.
I feel like you go and have 5 beers. I don't know.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, they always felt
6.9 strong.
like you could only have like 5 beers from that thing, and it would just be a leveling.
Yeah, it rocked. It was pretty rad though. Yeah.
It definitely is. It's something you have to do in your life. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
'cause now you're in an apartment with your girlfriend.
Well, yeah, we own like a condo now, and we're like, you know, we're engaged, getting married this fall, and you're married right now, right?
No, not yet. No.
Wait, why do I think you're married?
Oh, just because I have that life.
I'm such an asshole.
No, not. She's gonna
It
be
is
like,
pretty
Oh,
rude.
dude, I did exactly what I just did.
So
right
shout
there.
out to Nat. Hey, babe, how are you?
Yeah, what's up, Natalie? What's up?
Yeah, but we the same thing. Like I live with her just in a 1-bedroom downtown, and it's just so much better.
Like
Such a better life compared to that that house.
Well, yeah, of course.
Oh,
Dude, thank you for being very gracious about that just now, because I did exactly what I just did to you, to another friend, where I was like, "Yeah, you guys are married, right?" And I guess it had been like a point of contention where like they had not gotten married yet or something like that. So I did that, and then it was just like this fucking crazy awkward dinner where I was just like, "Oh, sorry, sorry about that." And they're like, "Yeah, what's up with that? Why aren't we married?" And I was like,
she wouldn't do that. We talk marriage. You know, we're almost at coming up to 3 years now.
Yeah, right.
And she's my best friend. So yeah,
You guys are great
it's talk.
together.
Yeah, thanks, man.
She's awesome.
She is a great girl.
She's
Very
a
good
jet
girl.
setter. She's all around.
No, she's a air transatter.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, she's industry wise. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but like the reality of like life coming together like this is that oftentimes people are like, okay, I have to have my career set, and then I have to have my relationship, and then I have to do this, and I have to do this. You seem like you're much more open to the idea of just making it happen as it happens. Is that accurate?
I like to live daily. Like
Daily.
I'm not a big guy to plan out my life and all that, just because it's too stressful. Like I just want to wake up and live it one day at a time. And right now I'm happy where I'm at, and I'm moving forward. I'm pushing forward. So
It's crazy to me, contrasting that you have this approach to your life, which is day at a time, but doing production, video production, you have to be incredibly like planned out, like months and months and years. You know, like it's very weird. Like it's a weird oxymoron.
But that's work and life. You know what I mean? It's two different things.
I admire that. Yeah, I admire that way. That's
and the thing is, like, yeah, you're totally true. It does sound like it's a big contrast, because I have plans for 3 years of, like, you know, first feature films, hopefully be next year and all that. But just when day to day, you know, now I'm all fucking stumbling on words here.
No.
Yeah, man, just living in the moment.
I know. Well, see, that's the thing. I don't want to put you on a spot where like you feel like you have to lay it all out. It's more that I just appreciate that you have the ability to kind of compartmentalize. Like, I'm doing this day by day.
Yeah.
But then in addition to that, you're like, I'm also, I know what I'm going to do in my career, and I'm going to work. You know,
Work my ass off
to
to
that
get
rate.
there.
That's
Of
what
course,
I mean.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's all a struggle, but it's worth it.
It wasn't a struggle when you guys ended up winning the grant for tips. Like, so
yeah.
Why don't you explain just a little bit about that? So the process was like voter based, is that right?
So it is. It's voter based. It's a pitch way. Like, you have to start off with a pitch. Story Hive will select you, and they take it to a panel of judges, and there also is the voting stage. So there's kind of like a whole bunch of different elements all tied together to who they decide deserves this grant. But the voting base it's like a 3 or 4. It used to be 7 days. So when I did it, it was like 7 days, and you have to constantly just sit there and fucking, hey guys, vote,
Yeah,
pump them and just be annoying. But that worked, I guess, because for that first time for me it worked. And I was on that thing. I messaged every single person on my Facebook individually, personalized message saying, hey, can you like my Facebook page? Please vote daily. And I did it to the point where people blocked me. People told me to fuck off, like even friends, right? But it was still worth it to me.
Did anyone tell you actually fuck off?
Yes, this one actor girl told me to fuck off.
Really?
Yeah, fuck you. I'm not going to say her name, but back at her because I didn't need your help. I got it.
So you were probably like the 9th person that day to hit her up or
well,
something.
You got to think there's usually about 200 to 300 people in Vancouver who are posting this, and it's a small community, this entertainment industry.
And to add, you didn't like cast her.
Oh, no.
So she's like, no, I'm not going to like your shit. Like, obviously, that's so funny. So be like, after the voting process is done, so it's tiered, right? So when you guys won, what did you win?
So we won a $10,000 grant for a 10-minute short. So we had about 3 months, I think, in total after you win the grant to have a 10-minute short, and fully everything has to be done to their logistics. And we killed it. Like, we got a shoot at Milestones Robson, the old location that's now closed down. It was beautiful. Like,
sweet venue.
Yeah, sweet venue. And our Mike C, shout out to him for letting us be there. And we got to shoot from like 12 till like 7 a.m. So it was like this night shoots 3 days in a row, and it was just a cool experience because we got to bring, like, I got to bring all my people from my film school. Mm-hmm. We all got to go out there, as well as our first time casting, getting real, like, great actors. Like, we had like Mark Anthony Messiah, who's well known in Vancouver. Oh, yeah. Like, he played our manager. I luckily just ran into him at a bar once. And,
he's in everything.
Yeah, and he was talking about, he just finished his episode of Bates Motel, and he was just talking about it, and I was like, oh yeah, well, I'm in film too. We exchanged, and we've been good friends ever since. He's been in like 3 or 4 of my projects, and he's there for me no matter what. It's like, hey, Mark, man, I'll be there. Like nothing. So
he was he was on our team for running guns.
He was.
This year, right?
He was on the 48-hour film festival.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. He's always there, and that's what I love about this little community we have here in Vancouver. Everybody, like, it's so small. You think it's huge, but it's not.
It's very small.
Yeah.
It's very small, especially when you travel and you see other metropolis. Then you're just like, wow, it's sprawling.
Yeah.
And this is like a very tight, like, basically everyone's just trying to live in like a very like 12 block radius, which is kind of
true.
Silly, but it's like everything happens in Vancouver in this little 12 block radius.
Of course, yeah.
Suburbs are packed, obviously, but you know what I'm saying, obviously.
Yeah.
So like after you win and you produce the short, what happens? Distribution?
So yeah, we get distribution on TELUS. So it's on, if you have TELUS on demand at home, you can look into search up tips. There's a whole story hive.
Right now?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, it's
right
going
now.
down right now. Right now.
But so then what you did after that was once you've completed it, they put us all into another competition of voting that one out of all the 15 winners is going to get $50,000 to complete the web series and actually get to shoot the next 5 episodes. And unfortunately, we were in the bracket with Vancouver's own Joel McCarthy, like independent film legend, and his show Inconceivable, which is award-winning and just all over. It was great. So, I lost to the best. So,
that's okay.
Yeah, I competed with, and I did a fucking good job.
That's good, right?
Yeah,
dude, I take pride in that. I know what you're saying. We have similar story. Again, yet another common story where we are the second best overall podcast in Vancouver, according to the West Ender, now defunct. So we can't even actually change that. So it's like literally we were the last ones to be named.
No.
And then the magazine ended after 69 years or 7 years or something. So like after it ends, I was like, okay, we can't avenge this. So we got to just embrace it. But we also lost to the best. We lost to Stop Podcaster Yourself, which is like, Graham, like those guys are like, they've been doing it. I think they've been doing it longer. What did we find out? They've been doing it longer than like Kevin Smith and Smodcast, which is like 11 years or something like that. So
they're the original podcast.
Long time, yeah. So like it'd be weird if we beat them, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like,
but just being right beside, you know what I mean? It's still such an achievement.
I love it.
Being up there, yeah.
I ran into Shane
If you are
Clark
the best, like we all can't be Kanye.
We can't all. Yeah. It's one of the best podcasts of all time. Yeah. No, seriously though, I ran into Shane Clark, friend of the show, like the week of the award being announced.
Yeah.
And he was like, "So you know that this is the award? Like you basically won, right?" He's like, "You know that they were going to win, so you basically won first." And I was like, I don't know. He goes, but you'll never beat them.
Yeah, it doesn't kind of work that way, but thank you. So we won the second best.
I love
guess,
Shane, man.
right?
So I was just like, yeah, thanks, dude. I think
That's
I ran
cool.
into him at the Rio Theater, actually, when he said that.
I seem to think that. I think if Inconceivable wasn't there, we would have won. So I'm the same. I was second.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
It's really funny because Jordy, who is the director and a great guy from film school, one of my best friends, his dad is Fabian Joseph, a two-time Olympic silver medal champion. He was.
I didn't know that about
Yeah,
Jordy.
his
What?
dad was the men's hockey. He was the captain for the 2 years, 94, 96, when they did the Winter Olympics back. Yeah, he was the captain when there was no NHL team.
His dad's Fabian Joseph?
Yeah, man.
How come this has never come up in conversation before?
Jordy doesn't talk about him. I talk about him more. Like,
Dude, that's wild.
Every time I'm with Jordy anywhere, I'm like, do you know who his dad is?
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's like,
Jordy's a great screenwriter.
usually
as
it's
well.
like, my dad can beat up yours. I'm like, Jordy's dad can beat up your dad.
Yeah. It's like Jordy's dad has 2 Olympic medals, son.
So when we got the news that Inconceivable won, I guess Jordy showed me the voice message his dad left him, and his dad being like, "Hey, don't worry, son. Like, I got a couple silver medals myself." Like, it was such a cool, like hearing that, being like, second place is fucking pretty good.
And it's like we have a winning tradition.
Yeah, I don't know if we got second. In my mind, we did because there's only the first place. But
that's right.
I call myself right there.
Dude, you're in a bracket with like the toughest team, basically.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Yeah, and like I said, congratulations. Like, this is not long overdue, but yeah, I lost to the best, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah, man. Dude, your approach to all this is just so admirable. I really like it. I like it so much because there's this weird like characteristic that follows people in our industry. I don't know why, but it's like anyone who just experiences like a little bit of any kind of success, it's just immediately like it just seems to rocket to their head, and they just don't have any like they have no semblance of any kind of like decorum anymore. It's just gone. And they're like, well, that's what I'm doing, and blah blah blah. And you don't have that at all. You don't have any kind of airs on you at all.
I don't want that.
I don't get that at all. And even better, everyone you surround yourself with doesn't have that. That's my favorite part. It's like it's not like you're just like the humble guy on a team of assholes or something. Like, it's like everyone's super cool.
Oh, well, it took a lot to get this way. Like, seriously, in my 20s, I was an asshole, and I didn't really care, and I surrounded myself with the wrong people. Like, I experienced all that.
Really?
Oh, yeah, man. I was not bad people and all, just people that weren't, like, as Mizzy always says it, it's like, you want to be around people that make you a better person, people that you want to see, you know what I mean? Like,
it's funny, I tell that to Mizzy. That's so funny to hear him.
Well, it all goes full circle,
allegedly,
man.
Allegedly.
That's good. That's good. Nah, we tell each other that.
But it's the truth. It is. Like, and there's like, I did a lot of stupid shit and hung out with stupid people, but I thought it was the right thing at the time. Like,
he's on something, because like you have to put the right players on your roster. You got to know what you're going to do with that. Exactly.
You don't want to be part of the losing team because you chose to put yourself on it, right?
No, exactly. The reason that you've been able to put this team together, though, do you think it's because you're able to determine now when people are bad news right off the bat? 100%. Yeah.
And it's funny because, like, I'm sure a lot of people think I'm bad news still.
Really?
Oh yeah, because I'm a big, loud, and aggressive. I'm an aggressive guy, especially if I had a few beers and that. I'm just. It's all love, though. Yeah,
it's not a big deal.
No, but when a bottle of tequila hits me, I'm a fuck up.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But I can definitely see, like, it's the same thing that you said, like, when meeting you. It's just that instant connection when people are on the same page and people are looking out for the same things. Like, you want to be with that. Like, if I run into somebody and the first thing, they're like, let's go, I say I have a girlfriend or something. They're like, yeah, well, let's go find girls. Right there, it's like a bad like vibe from anybody. No, not a good mix.
You're like, you're gonna get me caught up.
I've learned. Well, I would never, but I've learned.
No. I'm not saying you would.
I've learned to make the smart decisions, and first qualities and first reactions of who's going to be good for me. So
exactly. That's a good way of looking.
And that's why, like, my team, the people that I work with, they're all friends from film school, and like all my best friends and everyone that I hang around with, they're still the guys from when I was like 16, 18. And I've had lots of like good friends come and go throughout time, but the ones that still stick with me and the ones that I talk to, and when I see them, it's like I haven't seen my best friend. I see him once or twice a year, But it's when I see him, nothing's ever changed.
No.
Yeah, shout out to Lee Tanner. What's up, bud? And
That's
Aaron Stricker,
that's
too.
the best friendships right there, man. Because that's what it should be. It should be like no time has passed me. Pick up right where we left off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have friends like that I actually feel bad that I don't keep in contact more. But it's almost like this is our new dynamic, though.
Yeah.
Right. You have to kind of accept that. I think that's
do.
part of getting older.
And if you like forced it and like, oh, I got to call him just because, or
Yeah.
You call if there's any fucking thing exciting, you're gonna get that phone call.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna be. It's funny. I was just in London, and like my best friend, I didn't tell him I was going. So when we got there, he's just like, Steve checks into London. He's just like, fucking WTF? Like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, don't tell. But it's just good to see that.
That's that's just you right there. Like you're able to like make a story out of it. Like you're like, I could let him know ahead of time. You're like, but I'm just gonna pop in on him.
And then I'll send him a present when I get home.
Yeah, I like.
It's on its way, bud.
Yeah, allegedly.
I like this, man. I think now would be a good opportunity to let people know about an amazing opportunity available at floathouse.ca. What's Floathouse? Oh, it's simply the best way to spend 90 minutes of your time doing what, you might ask? How about unlocking the mysteries of your mind, or just relaxing in total darkness and tranquility? It's amazing sensory deprivation experience. It's so cool. And right now, if you go to floathouse.ca, you can get 20% off your next float simply by using our podcast promo code. And that podcast promo code is C-Mart.
I podcast.
That's right. That's I podcast. And it gets you 20% off your next float, which is an amazing deal. I can't tell you how amazing that is. People are taking advantage of it all the time. You should take advantage of it.
I've never done it, and I think I would like to.
Dude,
not a bad move.
You would love
Great
floating.
move.
You would love floating.
Yeah, well, for all the people though that are listening to this, like the whole like
it's a temple.
Zen of this
It's a
place.
temple.
It's a total Zen temple. That's what it feels
like
like.
I was saying earlier, I just want to nap when I'm in here. It's got this great vibe, and it's a beautiful place. So if it's just this on the outside, I imagine what it's like inside that tank.
It's absolutely it's a game changer. It makes you feel like you're really exploring the recesses of your thoughts. Like, and you know what? Some people, I gotta be totally transparent. It's not that deep for some people. Some people just like it being quiet and no light for a little while. That's fine. They enjoy that, and that's cool. Some people's lifestyles
ideal, really.
need that. Sorry?
It's ideal, really.
Yeah, it's totally ideal. Yeah, like it's for some people. Like if you don't have that opportunity in your life to do that every day or commonly, then it's an amazing opportunity.
Well, good example. We talked to someone before the show who says they like to write lying down in the shower.
That's right. Yes,
which is interesting. And I think
shout out to Sparky. Yeah.
I think deprivation tank kind of a similar like kind of spot where you can just kind of fucking chill.
We should
and
get
ponder
Sparky.
some stuff.
I'm gonna get Sparky a float here.
He'd probably be good.
He took care of us for a while.
Is that the
friend of the show? Yeah. Also mixes a few drinks for us.
Yeah, you just met him, right?
Yeah, you just met him, right? Yeah, he's a
dude.
good guy. We love him, but Sparky's
similar kind of thing.
Yeah, that's right, man. You know, I didn't even put that together because you're smart for that, C-Mart. I didn't even put that together. That's awesome. That he told us he likes to lay down in the shower and write jokes for stand up. Isn't that funny?
It's time to float, buddy.
Yeah. He writes stand up laying down. That's fucking hilarious. Anyway.
Irony.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, all that being said, check out floathouse.ca and use our podcast promo code IIPodcast and get yourself 20% off your next float.
Lowercase I, podcast.
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 Easy. Just like that. Killer. Mm-hmm. Did I jump the gun on the timing for that?
Nope, you're good.
No, we're good because I didn't. I've lost my internal chronometer. Yeah, I feel like I was like, where am I on this?
Yeah. Where are we? I don't know.
I do. Well, let me bring you back to this.
Yeah.
Okay. So post tips, you're doing productions. You're still working with the same amazing team we've been building.
Same amazing team: Jordy Joseph, Matthias London, Leah Conan, Nick Nadon, all from my class 162. It's better than you. VFS.
Leah Cohen, by the way, is just amazing person. I think she's so awesome.
Talented, very talented.
She's very talented, and I had the opportunity to work with her and yourself recently at the Run and Gun Festival.
Yes, that's put on by Joel McCarthy as well. And this is a Spoon Studio. They're actually doing a Horror Fest one coming up here too, so
really?
We're gonna have to collab on that again. I got to tell you this
spooky.
though, being in the Run and Gun, so going to. your house there. That was an experience because
We should probably explain what Run and Gun
Okay,
is first.
sure.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So Run and Gun is a 48-hour film festival where you get surprise elements at a certain time. So it was like Friday at 6 p.m. You give you 3 elements,
Like
and
a
you
challenge
need to
series.
exactly. You need to write, shoot, edit, sound design, cast every single. Well, I know you could cast before, sorry, but you have to do it all, and it has to be delivered in 48 hours to this one location.
hard limit.
Yeah, like if you miss it, you're fucked. So
How many teams entered this year?
I think there was, I think they showcased 30, but I think there might have been 40 teams.
There was I think it was closer to like 48, something like that.
Yeah.
Teams entered, but only like 27 or 28 actually
finished
hit
on
the
time,
deadline.
yeah.
Something like that. I don't know. But you asked me. This is my favorite part of this. In January of this year, Steve and I run into each other and we start chatting, and Steve's like, "Hey, you know what? I'm putting together this team for this thing. I think you'd be great for it." He's like, "Do you want to do some like sound or something?" Like, he's like, "It's not a big deal. It's like we get 48 hours to do it." He gives me the pitch that he just literally said there, and then he goes, "It's cool, man. Like, honestly, for audio, you probably get like 5 hours to do it." He's like, "You think you could do it?" And I was like, "Sounds like a cool challenge." That was January. I didn't even think about it again. Like a week out from Run and Gun, Steve messages me. He's just like, "Hey, you ready to do this film festival?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Don't worry, you're gonna get like 5 hours to do it. I'm gonna be fine." What happened, Steve?
0 hours sleep though.
Yeah.
Well, no. So
I was like on call all weekend. Basically.
we were supposed to be at your house, I think, at 10 a.m. and we had 10 to 2 or something was our time.
Yeah, we had a hard. What was our hard deadline?
Our hard deadline was, I think, 2. It was supposed to be 2.
Yeah.
But I think we showed up at 1:30.
Yeah. And he's like,
Aggressive. That's an aggressive schedule.
Yeah, but I think we still had about an hour and a half to 2 hours to do it. And Leah was so exhausted; she was sleeping on your couch.
she wouldn't
face
crash on the
down.
couch. Liz
And-
came home and was like, "Who's hanging out?"
So me and we're just in the. So you got to imagine there's this room that for your little studio space. It's great. It's so quiet and so intimate, and like you're in there, and we're just staring at the screen, trying just to figure it out and creating the sounds, and just watching this master work at like all your skills.
Oh, you're very kind.
And we're pushing the time, like fuck, like I'm like we got to get back. We have to export. We still have to render. We have all the stuff we need to do with so little time. So unfortunately, I'm kind of pushing on Jayme here to speed it up. And he's like, well, what can we do? I'm like, no. He's like, well, we got to listen over. I'm like, no, we got to go. I didn't even let us quality check the track. And thank God you made us. And we found a couple of little mistakes that would have just finished it.
It's a 5-minute short film, and I was checking the size of it the whole time. So I was like, well, here's the audio file, and here's how much it is. And when I was just about to transfer it over, I was like, wait a minute. And you're like, no, we have no time. And I was like, just let me look. I looked. It was only half. It would have only been 3 minutes of audio. I was like, oh my God. So, and it would have been my fault.
Discrepancy.
It would
I
have
would
been
have
your
ruined.
fault. It
No,
would
I
have
would
been my fault because
no.
I should let you double check your work. That was a complete mistake. 100% my fault. But
Steve, they would have crucified the audio guy upside down. They would never let you.
I wouldn't have let it go to you. I would have said I did audio.
You're a good guy.
Yeah.
You also came in. This is my best part. My favorite part. He's like, because originally it was like, hey, would you mix for this? And I was like, sure. And then he was like, do we have these like narration parts for it? Do you think you could do that? And I was like, sure. Boom. Just like basically one take these because we have no time. So I was just like, okay, here it goes. Boom, boom, boom. And then they're like, okay, can you like score this like scene? And I was like, fuck. Okay, so it's, like just the hardest. It was really fun, man. It's so much fun doing.
Kicked ass.
And knowing that there was real life consequences if you didn't do it was like a lot of motivation. But it was fun, man.
It was fun, man.
It was cool. It was good to, I was telling this to Liz actually the night of the premiere because that's a cool part about this festival for anyone who's like, wants to check it out. But like if you're named a finalist, which we were,
yeah.
There's a special finalist showing.
There is.
Everyone gets shown, but then like there's a finalist showing with awards and stuff handed out. But Leia, Dean Cohen.
Yes.
She as a director, I want to share this just because I feel like this is my favorite part of this whole thing. She told me when you guys arrived at my house that morning or afternoon, whatever, because you guys came in just like white hot, like you're like, we gotta get this done, right?
We're fucked up.
She came in and she's like, I gotta be honest, I don't know what we have here. I actually think I might not even put my name on this. And I was like, are you sure? She's like, yeah, I don't know. She's like, I'm like, just relax, go lay down.
Yeah, get out of here, let the boys work.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah. So we're like, okay, so whatever. It ends up at the end when she's like listening through it, she's like, okay, I actually like love this now. Like she's like the sound like actually like brought me into it or whatever like that. And I was
It
like,
really did.
I was like so amazing. And then of our just aside from being nominated as a finalist, which was amazing.
Yeah.
But our only individual award was for Leia to get Best Director.
Best Director, yeah.
So I love that she would have not actually gotten that nomination for her name if I hadn't like maybe impressed upon her.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I was just like, oh, I'm glad to be part of the team.
Exactly.
Like,
It's like everyone
yeah.
coming together, you know what I mean? And that's it's kind of like the construction of it all, right?
Yeah.
Like there's all the different elements come together to make the masterpiece of the artwork that we worked so hard for.
It's something about that little room though. You're like
Dude.
I do like it's pretty new for me to be in there. We've only been in there since September of 2016.
Yeah.
And then I've only actually had it ready for sessions the last like 4 months, 5
I've been
months.
in there 2 or 3 times now, I think.
Yeah.
But both times it's hilarious. Like as soon as you get hard to work there, boom, in comes the cat, just mashing the keyboards, laying on the scripts.
Which cat is it? Is it great?
Yeah, ATS.
Oh,
yeah.
the small.
Yeah, Alexander the Small. He just jumps.
That's hilarious.
Jumps up, man. He's so funny because he just hears the keys once. If anyone's ever watched my live piano streams watching this, it's like on. You could just schedule it. He's gonna jump up like in 5 seconds. Basically, It's just silly like that. But yeah, man, it's fun. We also did recently another thing, a little car thing. I don't know if we could talk about that.
Yeah, of course.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Steve tapped me recently to do voiceovers and score a Chevrolet 2018, a Chevrolet Volt.
Chevrolet Volt, electronic Chevrolet Volt, yeah.
Yeah. So,
One of my good friends, Clayton Penner, turned in his old, like he drives a dump truck for the city, he used to drive logging trucks, always had big Ford, like brand new, jacked up Fords, and he decided to trade it all in for a little electric Chevy Volt. And
Yeah.
when they purchased it, they said they have 45 days to make a video about why you love it. And so he just called me and he's like, hey man, can we do this? And he thought he was going to get this little like me with an iPhone filming him going like, I like my car, yay. And that,
it was like a full on, before I had anything to do with it. And I'm just whatever. I'm just some guy, but like fucking, you showed me like basically a finished commercial. And I was just like, what do I do on here? You know, kind of thing. It's just,
what you did was you made it the masterpiece it was. And I think we're going to win like this. I think we have a good chance.
I think we have a very strong chance
like,
of winning this.
That's what Stories Beach Production does, baby.
Yeah.
Fucking
We'll go out
film
there,
it.
yeah. We have a successful history of tradition of winning. Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I
dude.
hope so.
I mean, I know there's a lot of stuff coming up that we're putting together.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited. You also, your company also did Uji's all his pre-album release stuff.
Yeah, the promos for his Thank
Yeah.
God for Death album. We threw together a couple of those. We're actually, me and Uj, I've been with him the last couple of nights. We're working on throwing together the first video.
Oh, nice.
For that.
Is it for Iran?
No, it's not. No, it's not for Iran.
Really?
No. Yeah.
As a fellow producer, I was like, hey.
There's some secret work going on. Like I'm not speaking about it, but
all right.
we're working on a couple tracks there. We've got a couple good ideas, but I'll be working a lot with him, like with any of the Holy Sock gang.
Yeah, shout out the Holy Sock gang.
Holy.
Holy.
Exactly.
Love these guys, man.
Glad to be a part of the Holy Sock gang. It's fam, as Mizzy would say, fam.
It's holy fam.
Holy fam.
That was my favorite part at the Run and Gun video, the festival, like all the screenings. It's like a totally black theater, like just totally dark in there, and then all you hear is just holy. And I was like, I think Steve is like sitting down from us. Yeah, I had no idea. That's hilarious, man. That was good.
Yeah, that was a cool experience. And what else? Mulligan. Mulligan's. We shot that. That was my first independent, like without grants and all that, and funding into it, and getting my partner Alex, who I haven't talked about. Shout out to him too.
I did mention co-founder.
Yeah, co-founder.
So the air is out there. People are like, who is this mystery partner?
Yeah, so all you're going to know is his name is Alex, and he's a Russian, and he will kill you.
Oh, my God.
With kindness.
Kindness.
Kill you with kindness.
Kill you with kindness.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Kindest guy ever.
I met Alex actually just briefly outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I met Alex in 2017 in acting class.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, we used the way he'll say that. Like to me, he was just this little muscly guy, just a little smiling all the time with his fucking broken English accent.
You produce films.
Yeah, I would say that. Hey, open his films.
Yeah. I don't know.
So bubbly.
Yeah.
And just instant connection. And then we just started hanging out. We both had the same dreams. And yeah, he's a great guy. And I'm so excited to build this business with him.
Yeah,
as well.
man.
Yeah.
It's pretty rad, and I'm very proud to say I'm part of this project, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what's coming up next, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Well,
dude.
we'll be back in that little room for Mulligan sooner than you think.
Very soon, actually.
Yeah.
Dude, my favorite part about that little room is that we were talking about this before the show, but there's no room for fucking around in there.
No.
Like I've been in studios that are like really, really huge and really small and whatever, but like it seems like the big ones, there's a lot of wasted time with people just like fucking around on their phones or go grab food in and out. Like it just seems like the smaller the room, like my room's small. Like my little production suite at home is like very small, but it just breeds accountability because like there's no way you and I are going to be on our phones and they're like, what are we doing? Like,
no, it's like you said, man. It's you get in there, you're getting to work.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That's it. Let's get this shit
I love
done.
it.
And that's where you look. If you look at most like any sound booths and all that, like if you go to the library, they have all these little small enclosed, about the same size, and you just see two people in there and they're just working, they're grinding.
Yeah,
and that's like get down to business.
Those ones are really nice.
Yeah, they are. And they're free.
Good. Yeah. Donated by Network Founder, actually, which is really good. Dude.
Yeah.
I gotta say, this breezed by really quick.
Yeah. Fuck, is it close to over?
Yeah.
I know.
Already.
This is gonna be the longest podcast there is.
Dude.
We're going into episode 173.
Let's do it right now.
So you weren't wrong. At the beginning, you did
ladies
it.
and gentlemen. How you
Fucking
doing up
predicting
there?
the future.
That's
MD
right.
Boomsday.
That's right. I want to know how can people follow you if they're so inclined?
Oh, well, if you would like to reach out, like I said, my company is here, and we're looking for artists to work with, collaborate with. We're here to be there for your vision. So if you're interested in getting a video done for anything that you need, you can go to www.storiesbeach.com, where you got all the info you need as well. And you can see some of our promo videos as well as short films that we worked on. Facebook, this is my name, Steve Michell. Steve Mike, Michell. Steve Michell, kind of like Mitchell, Michelle, most people say. And on good old Instagram, Stories Beach.
There's another commonality we have. Both have unique names and spellings
of it,
and
yeah.
people always think it's different. Someone called me Jaime the other day.
What?
Yeah, did I tell you this? See where someone
Jaime?
Yeah, someone called out my order for food and they're like Jaime, and I was like, what? I was like, do you mean Jamie? And they're like, yeah.
It is annoyingly spelled.
Like I was like, it's phonetical. It's just J-me. It's very straightforward.
My last name is it's pronounced Michael, but it looks like Mitchell or Michelle. So fuck my whole life. I go by any of them. If someone calls me Steve Michael, I'm very impressed.
Dude, I've pitched this before, but why don't you just change your air credits to just Steve Michael? Just change it, just fucking straight up. Just like change your thing. Oh, there you go. Oh, you're throwing up the names there.
Yeah.
Is that on live right now? I haven't seen that yet. Oh yeah. Look at this. Dropping the names. Nice.
Yeah, so that's the team right there. Clicking on the pictures, you can locate anybody on their Facebooks.
Everyone's
Stories
so good.
Beach.
Such a great team, man.
Yeah.
Honestly. Dude, I'm very grateful you came to do this
I'm
today.
very grateful to be here, man.
I told you it goes so fast.
No, it does. Like it flew
you wouldn't
by.
even know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's very quick. I'm probably not being very forthright with our listeners recently. I try to be as honest as possible about stuff, and I haven't been. And so maybe now's a good time just to let people know. I'll just say this is only a 1-minute thing, and then you guys can tune in for the next few weeks and see what's up. But basically, due to production stuff ramping up and some other factors I'll get into in a couple weeks here, but the show is actually winding down. And before you're like, what show? I'm like, well, this show, this podcast.
Brings a fucking tear to my eye, man.
Well, I mean, it shouldn't be a sad thing though, because it's we've done some pretty rad things on the show. We brought a lot of cool people to the forefront of people's minds, I think. And further to that point, we actually have a wealth of memories that we've forever cemented now on the internet that'll just forever be out there. It's totally archived, and everyone like we're already starting to see people that are like blowing up when they first came out of their show and they're just like headlining or just starting out in their profession, and now they're winning awards and, you know, touring the world and things like that. It's like, dude, that's awesome. I want to see that. And along the way, they're going to have to be like, well, where did they start? Did they ever do media interviews in the meantime? And I don't know. I said I was just going to do a quick little piece on this, but I'll just say, like, yeah, the show is going to be winding down, and it's a happy thing. It's not a bad thing. It's actually like a really cool thing, and I'm excited for what's next. I'm not
That's
sad or anything like
that's
that.
awesome.
I'm good with it. Yeah, I actually feel a bit of relief, to be honest with you, just a little bit. But that being
We're gonna
said,
cut this part though.
it's gonna be hard cut. No one will ever know that this was announced.
He does this every show. He says it and then cuts it.
This is his
It's just been going on.
172nd time saying that.
every fucking show with
Oh,
this
it's
guy.
like, shut up with this bullshit.
I've quit the
You're
show.
going to be doing this for your life.
Yeah, quit the show 172 times
This
now.
is Intergalactic Interviews, episode 373.
1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. But if you do like the show, we do appreciate it if you do follow us. Check out Intergalactic Interviews. We're available on iTunes and YouTube and Stitcher. We're also available for you. Yeah, for SoundCloud. We're also available for you to drop reviews. If you like this show, if you like this content, maybe you're a new listener, go ahead and check us out. Let us know. Maybe try and keep us.
Yeah.
Maybe you're like, don't leave yet.
That's for you, Mom. When
Yeah.
you're done reading this, I want some comments.
Yeah, if you feel like, this show is rad and we don't want it to end, let us know. I don't know. Maybe we'll give it the old college try. We'll figure out what's going on. But yeah, I don't know. I'm very grateful for anyone who watches or listens every week and sticks with us. I mean, like, I never thought we'd be this far along in the episodes.
I never thought I'd be in this chair.
Dude, I'm proud that you're episode 172. I really am.
I'm proud to be here, man.
I'm super stoked.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you check out Stories Beach Productions. It's very easy to search. And Steve Michell,
Yes.
you're a consummate professional. I really, really enjoy hanging out with you, bro.
I really enjoy hanging out with you too, my friend.
C-Mart, how can people follow you if they're so inclined?
Not a thing that I would do.
Excellent. And the following messages for everyone else out there. We love you guys very much. Stay true to yourselves. We love you.
We love you. Mom and Dad, I love you. Sisters, kids, everybody else. Family, Funkle, what up?
You guys are the best. We love you all. We'll see you all next week. Bye.